It's almost 12 midnight as I'm doing this, and I've been on Twitter for like 2 hours already, and I couldn't sleep. I just read a very long thread for the past hour, probably, nearly an hour. And I can tell you, this is the best horror story I've ever read on Twitter in my entire life. And I'm not even a very active user of Twitter. I just love to read tweets and news because the news coming from Twitter are like real time and they're really like bombastic, they're explosive. To make the story short, the trending at this very hour is Sam Morales. Sam Morales, I don't know who this freaking person is, but when I, dig into this issue, this trending story, this is basically a developing story. It was a horror story. You guys, it's one of the best horror story. It's so shocking that this is something that you can only watch on TV. This is something that you can just read from a fiction, a thriller fiction novel, or a mystery novel, something like a dark fiction, just to give you an idea. But I didn't realize that whoever the designer or the architect of this story is so evil to have come up with this design. All right, so as you can see, a lot of people are tweeting this one, tweeting Sam Morales. It's not a hashtag, by the way. They are just mentioning the name Sam Morales, and there is a hashtag developing as at this moment, and Sam Morales. And I just learned that Sam Morales is some kind of a creative person who is working in the design industry. I don't know who this person is, to be honest with you. As of this moment, this is the story of a trans woman, all right, who was victimized by Sam Morales. So I'm just gonna give you the just a gist of the story or some kind of a summary. So here's my tweet: the best horror story I've read on Twitter. How could someone do such an evil thing? The villain in the story, Sam Morales, is sick in the mind. That's what I said. So it started with the story of Sana Jero. I don't know if that's how the name or the handle is pronounced. Zan Jero. This is the poster. She is an admitted transgender, and basically he, she. I'm gonna use the correct or the pronouns that Chanjiro would like to identify with, which is she or female. Okay, I respect that. And I'm, this is her reality or her story, as she said in this very long thread. So it started with this very, loaded statement: I got catfish. Okay, for the people who don't know what catfishing means, it's a deceptive. This is used by people, whatever their motives, probably money or monetary, or they just want to destroy other people's lives. Some catfisher don't have any motive at all, just like the case of Lincoln Lewis, an actor in Australia, okay, in which a woman, the villain in that story, used the identity of the actor, the Australian actor Lincoln Lewis, to catfish women and destroy their lives. And as of this moment, there's no clear motive or reason why that woman the criminal in this case, uh, there's no reason why she did all those, all those catfishing crimes or identity theft, right? So basically, catfishing is a deceptive way to present yourself as someone else when you're not that person, and you're using another person's identity in order to fool or deceive your target. So that's the best definition I could give. In this case, okay, this is an elaborate design. Okay, this case of Chanjiro, very elaborate design that it's not just catfishing, but it's more of manipulating not just this woman, but the person whose identity was also stolen, and that this is the guy in the picture. Okay, both of them are victims by Sam Morales. So the story is started with, of course, online meeting. So Chanjiro met the guy in this story. So Bill is the name of the guy. This is a complicated story, so please bear with me. So it's a very long thread. So Chanjiro is a trans woman from Cebu. I think based on her story, she's studying at this point, or during the the relationship, the long distance and online relationship that she had with Bill. So the name of the guy in the story is Bill. So I'm from Cebu, she said, and he's from Makati. Bill is from Makati. His profile showed up when he was here, but we matched when we had already left back to Manila. So they met online, and she's studying interior design. So okay, so presenting the guy in the story, Bill Ivor Reyes. So this is the fictional name used by the catfisher. Okay, let's just use the term catfisher, who turn out to be Sam Morales. Chanjiro was honest at the very first online meeting, that she's a transgender. So Bill Ivor Reyes presented himself as a 24-year-old guy living in Makati, and he is an art director for a firm. So this is like the movie Inception. There is a story within a story. So that's how complicated this thread story is all about. Kudos to Chanjiro for presenting it very clearly, like as if you're reading a novel, or you're watching a movie as you go along with the threads. You can see the technique being exploited or utilized by Sam Morales here, like emotional blackmail. So the way the catfisher tried to get Chanjiro's trust and confidence is by attacking her emotion, by telling her stories, because Bill Ivor Reyes is the person in this story. Bill Ivor Reyes presented himself to be like an orphan, that he came from rags to riches. He was independent, and he had all this melodramatic story. It's like a Cinderella story. Very, very emotional story that would make you tear up. All right, so they met, and to make this story short, Chanjiro trusted the guy in the story, so she fell in love with Bill Ivor Reyes, and a lot of stories came up about the guy, but one thing is something that Chanjiro just ignored. Bill Ivor Reyes wouldn't like to show his face or to do a face chat, okay, or live chat with Chanjiro. Um, he's got so many alibis when it comes to talking with the guy, because these are the red flags when it comes if to know whether you're dealing with a catfisher, someone who's trying to catfish you. It's a long distance relationship. Usually they respond immediately, but they don't want to show their face, okay? They're simply using some kind of edited pictures of someone else, and they have a lot of reasons when it comes to meeting up. If you'd like to, if you invite that person to meet up, finally, we're gonna meet up. They're gonna give you a lot of reasons. So that's one of the best red flags to know whether you're dealing with a catfisher. So since Chanjiro is gullible, she admitted that she's gullible, na naloko siya. A lot of red flags arose during the relationship. It's like a 1 year relationship. That is how Sam Morales played Chanjiro. Okay, she played, this woman like a fiddle, and then she learned one day that the name Bill Alvarez is actually not the real name of the guy in this video. So this is the guy in this video. So his real name is Bilko. Bilko Wagan Argana. So at this point, she was able to discover the real identity of the guy in the video or the picture. That the real name is not actually Bill Alvarez, but Bilko Wagan Argana. So how did Sam Morales enter in this picture? So Sam Morales is part of the story here. Sam Morales presented herself as the cousin of Bill Alvarez. So the first breakup Chanjiro had with Bill Alvarez, that's when Sam Morales came or entered the picture. Okay, it should have ended when Bill Alvarez did not show up at the airport. They were supposed to meet at the airport, but suddenly he disappeared. And that's when he thought, well, I'm not talking to a real person. So, he began to suspect that he's being catfished. He's dealing with a fictitious person. But that's when Sam Morales entered the picture and tried to mend the broken story, to try to fix it. She tried to fix it. So basically, Sam Morales, the architect of this horror story, would like to make sure that the story would continue. So she entered the picture to make sure that she would continuously torture this trans woman. Right, so that's what happened. So a lot of breakups. I think 3 breakups in total. So okay, so she began to suspect, but then that's when Bill Alvarez began to do FaceTime. She had also apologies. She apologized. They met in Manila. Finally, after the first breakup, Sam Morales was able to fix their supposed love story. And they decided to meet up in Manila. But then Bilko this time didn't want to continue. He just wanted to go away. And that's when Chanjiro's life was devastated. Her world was devastated. That this guy just ran away during the first actual meet up. She entered the picture again. She tried to fix their love story, and then that's when this guy Bilko Wagan Argana did this message to apologize.
Gusto ko lang mag-sorry sa lahat. Sobrang late na po na talaga na uwi kagabi. Naisip ko lang talaga na Ayoko naman magkita kasi lalo lang hahaba. Tapos na tayo, di ba? Tapos na. Ayoko na, tatapusin ko na lang talaga to. Tapusin na lang natin lahat to. Sorry sa lahat. Pagpunta mo dito, sa lahat. Mag-ingat ka, okay?
So if you notice, this guy is like reading from a script, and he's not even good at acting, right? Not good at acting, and he's not sincere. He's like being forced to do this video. This is why I noticed the first time, I read a thread until I got to, the real picture, the actual picture. So at first you would blame this guy. This is the real, villain. This is the real evil culprit in this story. That's the first thing that's gonna come up, but that's not actually the case. So he said sorry, and then they continued their, supposed happy relationship. So, dahil marupok si Gaga Chanjiro, she's so gullible, she's so marupok, so fragile. She forgave the guy. One more time, she forgave the guy. Okay, and then there's another thread. So they exchanges a lot of, including email. So there are a lot of modes of communications here. email, Viber, what else? FaceTime, chat, etc. All types of communications that you can think of. So there you go. This is one of the text messages, also messages in which Sanjiro would contacted Sam Morales to try to fix their relationship. So and then Sam Morales, the hero, at this particular point, did something to fix, the story, and then that's when they continued with the dubious relationship. So, and then they talk again. They were able to fix their love story, and then she said she tried to move on. She was some kind of doubtful at this point, because she was being accused of cheating on the guy as well. So there's a plot twist in which Bilko accused Chanjiro of being a cheater, being unfaithful in the relationship, and she tried to contact Chanjiro, tried to contact Sam Morales to try to fix again their story. Alright, so let's just check. A lot of stories here. Meron pa yung nagkasakit siya, etc. So these are red flags actually. The excuse not to talk to you for too long, the excuse not to show up your face on video chat, etc. So they finally met again. So eventually he agreed to see me, only if kasama si Sam. So Sam Morales is going to be there. They met at this hotel, I think. So finally, so this is a meet up. They even videotape it. So supposedly Sam Morales is the one videotaping or recording this meetup at this place. I think this is a hotel.
Support. Hello.
So you notice that the girl holding the camera tried to avoid Chanjiro's hug. Chanjiro tried to hug the guy holding the camera, but that's when the video ended. Why? All right, so let's continue. And Sam was there. Whoever was taking all these photos, it must be Sam Morales. I don't know, because Chanjiro did not mention the photographer at this particular moment. So they had a launch at BGC. All right, so they fucked. Okay, that's that's when I chuckled. What the fuck? This is the very thread in which they met and then they had a sexual intercourse. So she said here, so nung kami na lang sa room, he rested for a bit and we cuddled. I tried to kiss him pero ayaw niya. So I was put off at that point. Nangulit ako and told him, why won't you kiss me? And the guy said, ayaw lang. And I thought he was just teasing me, pero ayaw talaga niya, so I got annoyed, but whatever. I'm gonna end this. This is not working anymore. Fuck this. I lost myself because of this until he started fucking me. I was shocked, pero okay. That's when he got, these 2,486 likes. So he came and then he said to me, masaya na? I was like, tangina, you fucked me. I just wanted a kiss. Anong masaya na ba ako? I came back to my senses. We dressed up and I just sat down with him. What the fuck is going on? Ano ba to? So that's when he started like, what the heck? She invested a lot, probably her whole life on this guy. And then this is the climax that awaited her. This is the climax that she never expected. Okay, they fucked, but there's no love there. This is not the guy who she was communicating or talking with online via text message, probably phone call. That's when everything went dark. And this is the very moment that revealed the revelation. The revelation. So he was silent for a while. Like he was trying to find the right words to say. We were crying. I was confused. And then he broke the story. Damay lang din ako dito. And then you have no idea how confused I was. She said, Anong ibig mong sabihin? Wala naman talaga ako dito pero dinamay nila ako. Di naman kita kilala. And then he got so confused, a lot confused by that statement. Si Sam lahat, hindi ako yung kausap mo. Si Sam. So the guy, Bilko, was referring or is referring in this thread to Sam Morales being the architect of this horror story. Okay, so and it started hitting me. FYI, survivor lang talaga yung commune namin. Even after he added me on FB, ayaw niya sa Messenger. So this is the very moment when all the red flags came flashing. Okay, the big realization. This is when it all started to come clear. All right, it's like a scene in a movie in which the lights coming in. That's when you realize you were fooled, that you were played for the entire fucking year. Okay, so kaya pala text lang kami palagi. Kaya pala he doesn't like calling or FaceTiming me. Kaya pala he never showed up. Everything is starting to make sense now. That's the best description I could give. Everything started to make sense everything started to clear up. I'm sorry. So this is the guy talking here. I'm sorry, wag mo akong idamay dito, please. Biktima lang din ako. And then Chanjiro asked, why did you agree to this setup? So that's the biggest question of all. Why? Why would someone, a guy, would agree to be used in this setup? And then the guy answered, di ko alam na ganito pala pagsundo nila sa akin. May dala ng flowers, ibigay ko daw sa'yo. Di ko talaga alam, nagugulan din ako. So, the guy was ambushed. So, he was set up. So, probably he was just invited that day. Come on, let's go somewhere. But then he didn't know he's gonna be meeting up, this woman. Shanjiro asked, why did you fuck me? Why did you fuck me? And then the guy said, nalibugan lang din ako. Wow. Alright, so the guy wanted it. The guy wanted it. So he's a guy. Okay, lalaki pa rin. Parang gano'n. And then, putang inang yan, I felt molested. Hindi naman ako yung kausap mo eh. Ito lang meron ako, yung Facebook ko, tapos IG. Wala naman akong Viber. Di naman yan yung number ko eh. Pero why did you add me on Facebook? And then, the guy answered, utos lang ni Sam, add daw kita. Mofo. Mother effer. And then, ba't ka nga pumayag sa ganito? So, that's when everything came clear. Assistant lang kasi ako ni Sam sa mga shoot. Tapos sa modeling, binibigyan din ako ng racket. Ayoko lang mawalan ng trabaho. And then, pwede bang tayo lang nalang mag-usap? Block mo din sila lahat, tayo na lang, ito na lang yung totoo. So, both these beautiful people, individuals, were played like a fiddle by Sam Morales. And then that's when I thought, why the heck would Sam Morales do that? Why the heck would someone do such a thing? Para ano? Just for some kind of self-fulfillment? What kind of fetish that is? I don't know. I would like to know the answer. So I scrolled down the thread. 8 months. So I said almost a year, not 1 year, but almost a year. Ginago nila ako for 8 long months. I never expected someone this talented to be this fucked up. She's right. Sam Morales is fucked up in the head. She's worked with big names and brands in the industry. Who would have fucking thought? So this is Sam Morales' account. This is her IG, Instagram account. Sam Morales works for Panasonic, Lumix. She's a filmmaker. So she's a she. And she has like 2,967 followers. And she has Vimeo as well. Sam Morales Folio. And this is her Instagram account. So she's a very talented, she's smart person, and no wonder Sam was always in the picture from the start. I felt so stupid. I'm embarrassed. I felt like shit. Why did Sam do it in the first place? To answer everyone's questions. So that's not one of my questions, but the biggest question I had when I reached that point. So that's when Sam Morales called me to explain everything. I screen recorded but forgot to turn on the mic. It took her a while to find the right words to say. This is Shanjiro. What you're about to read is from our phone call and how I remembered it. It's for you to decide if you believe her excuse or not, or if you believe me, because what you're gonna read is going to be so incredible that people like Sam Morales actually exist. Now, let me just continue before I get derailed again. Or if you believe me, I'm not making this shit up. I honestly wish I was, because this is completely fucked up but this is my reality. Alright, so it started when she was young. She was bullied by gay people all the time. So she's referring to Sam Morales. That's where her hatred towards gays started. Later on, her homophobic uncle found out about the bullying and wanted to revenge for her. So nilandin niya yung bakla. He made the gay fall in love with him. But I don't know how she got bullied by gay people, but probably she was called ugly, because sometimes gay people can be so judgmental. They like to pick on people's looks. So that's probably how Sam Morales got bullied. That she's probably called ugly, etc. But I don't know the story, so I'm just making this up. He did it for a while until nagsawa siya. The uncle became homophobic men are actually in reality closeted gays. That's my how I psychologically explain their behavior until nagsawa siya. I don't know. He's a homophobic, so he probably liked what he's doing. He just couldn't, accept the fact that he's gay. He probably tried to project his hatred of his sexuality on gay people because he's also gay. So he's trying to it's projection, psychological projection is the term that I can use here. He did it for a while until nagsawa siya and asked Sam to continue it. Wow, what a fucked up family. In her words, it became an addiction. What the F? They would target gay trans people, make them fall in love, and then ghost them. That's how it started with me when they found out I was trans. So Sam Morales is so fucked up. She's got the resources, she's got the money, she's got all the time on her hands to do all this. Imagine how fucked up you are to invest. He's got so much hate in her heart, probably, to do all this to destroy someone else's life. So, and what you're gonna learn or discover next is totally unbelievable. So it wasn't just her. Apparently there are three of them. Sam, another girl, and one of her guy friends nakausap ko sa phone. So basically, this is probably a secret society of homophobic people who made it their duty, or they probably they swore to destroy the lives of trans people. That's probably their goal in life. I don't know, but as Chanjiro said here, there are three of them: Sam, another girl, and one of her guy friends. Nakausap ko sa phone for 8 months, who did all the phone calls. So this is an elaborate story. This is organized crime, so to speak. Organized crime. The plan was 1 week tops, but I became really suspicious and started digging deep and mentioned before na if find out that you're a poser, you would pose your thread. And that's when like I said at the very beginning, Sam Morales tried to she entered the picture to rescue everything. Sam manipulated Bilko. Sam would tell Bilko may shit daw siya, ganito ganyan. So, sino yung graphic design? So, they also paid for someone to do all the graphic designs for Chanjiro and everything. So, that's how elaborate this organized crime is. Then she started crying, kept apologizing. She just apologized because she got caught. That's a problem. I don't know if she's sincere, but as she said, this is an addiction. She's just, she's a psychopath. Sam Morales is a psychopath, and it got developed from the very beginning, from the time she was, still young. And okay, so she landed, so she's very successful probably in her own right. So she got deals with big brands like H&M, Jag, etc. So that's when Chanjiro realized that she was played like a fiddle, played like a doll. My feelings yung pagkatao ko, yung oras, pera, lahat ng invest ko for this is fucked up. I cried. I didn't know how to feel, so I tried to forget everything and I tried to move on, but wala na. It's been eating me for the past few weeks. So basically, Sam Morales was able to, despite the fact that, at the very climax point of the story, despite the fact that they were caught, red-handed, they were able to still successfully destroy this woman's life in a very elaborate way. They slowly, it's like killing me softly story. They slowly killed, and it's basically part of the design to slowly kill her emotionally. Remember the breakups that I mentioned, like 3 breakups, and then Sam again would enter the store to try to fix things up, and then another breakup. It's a succession of tragedies, so to speak. This is the last tweet of the thread. So I had no one to share, cause even ako don't understand how fucked up this situation is. So I stayed silent, but I realized I'm not to let you motherfuckers get away with this. You guys are fucked up in the head. I just wanted to love and be loved. I don't deserve this. No one does. And thank you, Chanjiro, for sharing your story. Because even for us readers, the guys who read your story, couldn't believe that evil people like Sam Morales exist. It's like a secret society that they probably organize. A secret society, probably small friends of that they got to know online. These people got to know online. These homophobic people and organize, some kind of a society to destroy gay people's lives. And they are basically targeting transgender because there are a lot of types of gay people. Not a lot, but LGBT. So let's just start with the LGBT. So LGBT, gays, transgenders, lesbians, of course. But when it comes to homosexual men, so we have what we call bisexual, transgender are those who identify as women. Okay, they really think that they're women, all right? That they're not men, they're women. While bisexual, they are still men, but just love guys. And there are also bisexuals and effeminate. So the bottom and tops as well. So there are a lot of it's like a rainbow, the rainbow flag for the LGBT community. What I notice here is that they are targeting trans women only, not the bisexuals, not the discreet, not the closeted, but basically the trans women. Why did I say that? Because it's going to get more fucked up as you dig in the thread, or the, what do you call this, the trending. But it's actually almost 1 in the morning, so I'm losing my focus now. So just getting back to the thread. Okay, there's the tone I'm referring to. I'm standing up for not just myself, but for all those trans who may have been victimized by this disgusting act. I am a victim of catfishing by Sam Morales, and I chose to stand up and help stop this. So Sam Morales was my friend. So this is Josh De La Rosa was my friend, so I can't understand why she did this to me. I've known you since 2015, so we also share the same circle of friends and I worked together for a couple of projects, and I was proud fan until this. So she's going to reveal it all as well. So this is just pretty new. I met this guy named B on Tinder. So this is on Tinder. I don't actually have this type of app, so sorry. Sam Morales knows this trans woman, and she tried as well to destroy her life. So, and this is about the trend as well, right? But this is gonna be the end of it. It's too long already. It's almost 1 hour. I'm just gonna try to edit this, but all right. So basically, I'm stunned, so shocked that people like Sam Morales actually exist, and I'm just sharing with you this story and my thought, my reaction to this. If you like this video, please like, comment if you have some opinions, share and subscribe as well. And this is again Uncensored Asian Vlog, and have a good one to all of you. Good morning and stay safe this coronavirus crisis.